Welcome back, everybody. It's Unicorn Talent, another vibrant podcast recording episode or instructional video, joined by Michael Brown, AI extraordinaire, founder of Door 3 Talent. Hats on the way. As you could tell, the unicorn
Woo-wee.
ones exist. I know. Okay, let's see if we could share a little screen here.
I think the easiest thing to do just to kick off the workflow is just click the first button on the left. Actually, we'll just run that first simple prompt.
Okay, and then what do the rest of these do? Or are we going to go through them later?
The others are this is a tool essentially that can do a couple of things. So if you don't have an AI acceptable use and governance policy today, this is one that can help you build one from scratch and be customized for your company and the way that you want to think about how to use AI. You may, the goal of what or the output of what it creates is not only a document that's for internal use so that everybody's aligned, but then a bit of a one pager that you can send to candidates as well so that they understand expectations on that as well. So that's essentially what it's going to build and walk you through from that new perspective. You can also, if you have an existing policy or the beginnings of one, you can drop it in and click the little second button, and it'll continue to help you take what you've built and expand it a bit. If you just need something like super simple, that's what the third button is for. And then if you need like help on how to roll this out, this also I added some bits on like enablement,
Okay.
because it's one thing to have a document, it's another to get everybody, compliant around it. So, but
Got it.
let's start with the first one because I think that's the meat and potatoes of this thing is that one. Yes, exactly.
Okay, quick start, AI Policy Builder by Mike Brown. It's for building AI policies for your business. And from my experience, let's just say up front, we're not lawyers. And while this
100%.
does have a tremendous amount of work and research put underneath in the rules that guide you through this process, definitely run it by your corporate legal team before posting publicly. But this should get you a large majority of the way there. So click the first button. Let's run through the process together. Walk me through it.
All right. So the first step is, I think, what do we got here? This is, if you've got any sort of existing stuff, that's where, kind of we'll take that, but we don't have that. So let's keep rocking.
My
So
company name. All right. Or I'm going to put it in. We're going to go Unicorn Talent. Or should I do head count? Nah, we'll do
I think you
Unicorn
do it.
Talent.
Yeah.
Head count? Head
Well, I
count
mean,
$365.
if you have to hire there, and you need to do some alignment, this could work.
Okay, so headcount 365. I am in SaaS. I hire for customer support, sales, and engineering. Do I use AI tools? Yes. Notes and summary apps. And are you subject to compliance? Yes. All right. We're moving our way through.
The just to note too, so if you only answered 4 of those questions, it would actually prompt you to get the 5th question. So it's got some triggers like built into it to make sure that we're capturing all the information.
Some security. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Should candidates be allowed to use AI for resume or cover? Yeah. Yeah. One, yes. And they can use the Unicorn Talent resume template if they need to.
Perfect.
2, should they be allowed to use AI for interview prep? Yes. Also use the Unicorn Talent interview prep template. Free for download, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. 3, should they be allowed to use AI during live interviews?
This is a tricky one.
Interesting. I hire engineers offshore and I'm okay with translation apps and potentially code pairing, potentially code apps if they are transparent about using them versus pretending they are not. 4, For accessibility needs, translation, text to speech, or screen readers, yeah, no issue. 5, yes, they have to. They gotta tell me. Yes,
Yes.
please. How should violations be handled? Just kidding. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
a
What do you think on this one, Eric?
I would say I would like uh a notification after, yeah, a notification after, I guess this how would violations, I don't, I guess it would depend on how I detected them. So if I suspected them, I would like to understand the risk. How do I, if it's possible to identify if someone may be using them or is likely to, this should be a flag that does not impact future interview steps without human review. That's what I would say.
See what it says. All right. I like those answers.
I'll take it. What happens if it doesn't like these answers? Should I make bad answers on this next one?
No, no, no. I think if it doesn't like the answers, it'll push back or it'll ask for more context.
I wish I typed in my fifth answer to see how it handled that for another day.
It may have taken that seriously. You never know.
Yeah, another day. Okay, internal AI use. Which AI use cases are acceptable for your team? Yeah, all are acceptable to help. One, all acceptable to help frame human thoughts and edits. 2, which are prohibited? Which uses are prohibited? Yeah, auto candidate rejection. Which should I outputs be human reviewed? Yes. Yes, please. And 4, should all hiring? Yes, please. Great. I think it's like, how did you determine, while I go through this, how did you determine these different steps? Like, what are you looking for in each of these different steps as I go through this process?
So I think in a lot of this, it's one, it's, from a candidate's perspective, I want to make sure that the candidate has a clear set of expectations of like what they can and can't do when they're interviewing with the particular company. And then from the company side, it's all about, how human and transparent they want to be as well. And really that's in my opinion, that's a big goal of this document. There's kind of this divide that's happened, I would say, between candidates and companies where, the candidates are really just, in my opinion, they're just trying to help themselves the best they can with the tools that are available to them. And no one's actually told them you should go do this or you shouldn't do this. And so I think they're just going on, what they think is best. And so that's one side of it. And then you've got companies that are kind of caught off guard with the amount of inbound applications and fake candidates and fake resumes and all of these things that they have to kind of counter there. And so now you've got this kind of this knock in the middle. And so I think these documents really help level set. And it's also kind of a stake in the ground on how you want to build going forward, what you want, to be human led, what you want to be AI led, what you might want to be a combination of both, how you want to make your decisions. So I think that's where this all comes from.
I love it. I think, one, let's just high level review, right? So this policy gets you something that you could use hopefully after your legal team reviews it, both internally and externally, so that you have a standard for how you're using AI within a company. And it does so by asking you questions about your company and your desired use case and how you want to communicate it, who's going to own it. And then it puts together this kind of framework for how you can use it. And then it looks like at the bottom, I can get a one pager for candidates. And this allows people to just kind of have a templated, kind of out of the box use case, of course, review with your legal and communications team as well, that you can then put across your different hiring practices. I love it, man. This is great. This is just AI for AI, and it's AI for TA, which are two of my biggest interests right now as we do this type of stuff.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think that the goal is to just, help everyone kind of advance, help the candidate populations and, kind of smoothing that divide. And, let's see if hopefully the legal teams enjoy it.
I love it. Okay, so this video, you could click the link below. You could download, or sorry, it'll send you to this GPT. So if you have ChatGPT, it'll send you there, and you could try all the different prompts. And then we'll have this in a blog post, so you can see everything that is about this policy, right? How do you roll it out? How do you do the training? What are best practices? Maybe some real world examples. But another stellar GPT built by none other than Michael Brown, founder of Door 3 Talent, AI extraordinaire. If you need help within your business, rolling out, creating, or building AI infrastructure, he's your guy. And it's always great to have you on the pod, on the lesson plan, in the newsletter.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things. Great to chat with you. Let's give this a second to finish uploading, and we'll be on to the next one.